Hello everybody, this is BrutalMorV, and I'm back again with my G2PO series. And today I'm not really touring the city. I'm actually at home. I'm going to build a project down here in my melon farm, which I've already kind of got a start on. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to automate it so that all you have to do is flip a lever, and it'll auto harvest all of the melons for you, so you don't have to sit there digging them up. It's a lot quicker, and it's been something I've been meaning to do. And I had somebody kind of recommend that maybe I should go ahead and build something on one of my videos, and it might be some more entertaining. And so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I thought maybe some people are interested in doing this. This is kind of handy. I did see the video first on one of the G2PO videos that Bentley was doing over at McKee's house when the server was first getting up. He had a system similar to this, so I guess you could say I'm inspired. I've seen it before, but you could say I've been inspired by that design to go ahead and give it a shot and do it here. So this is basically how it's built, as simple as it can be. What you're going to need are repeaters, about, well, for mine, I've got 10 melons here on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and have to have 20 sticky pistons, which you can see here. I need some redstone wiring, which I have some redstone here. I'm going to go ahead and need at least 10 repeaters, maybe more. So just make sure that you have at least half of the number of pistons that you're going to use, and dirt to grow on, and then I'm going to need a lever, which I've already placed where I want it. Pardon me. And this should go ahead and basically that's all you really need to go ahead and do this. It's pretty simple. So what I've done is I've already been digging a little bit. This is my second attempt at doing this video, so I guess I've cut some of that out. Um, but I've kind of dug out the basic area of where I'm gonna need to be at to do this. So let me explain this to you here now. This here is the dirt layer. This is where everything is going to grow. Now, melons, when you plant them, grow up, as you can see over here. Where you plant them, the stalks will grow, but they need another piece of dirt next to it to actually land the melon on. So it kind of curves over and grows on another piece of land. So now over here, there's water on this side, which helps the melons grow faster, and so they won't grow over there. Which this I've placed a piece of dirt here temporarily, but I will be taking that and moving it. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is bring some redstone wiring down to hook them all up, so that all I have to do is flip that switch up there, and it will activate some pistons, and it'll push this dirt layer up one, and that will dislodge the melons that are growing on top of them here. So this is the dirt layer right here, and then this layer here is going to be where the pistons actually sit. And they're going to go ahead and, when you activate the switch, move up to the top of the dirt layer, moving the dirt layer up one block, and that's basically how it works. So now this layer down here is where I'm actually using the power at, because what I have is water on the sides on this layer, so I can't dig in past this point, and the same thing over here. I can't really dig in past this point. So I have to go down one block, and that'll still work, because when the power comes into the block below the piston, it acts like a bud switch, which is a block update, and the power basically makes this block an activated block. So when the power comes in, it changes the block to an activated block. It actually, you could say, physically changes the block to a new block, and when it updates that new block, it activates the piston above it. So, so all we have to do here is, let's get started. Is go ahead and put the wiring up to where my lever is. Now I placed a cobblestone block up here. Now this is the block. This is the cobblestone block. Now you put wire down. You can click right on top of that, and as you can see now, there's a little outline square of where the redstone is. So it's, if you can't quite get up there, you can do that. And we're gonna bring the wiring down to this bottom level here. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and continue to click down, and it'll bring this wiring down down to here. And then what we're going to do is, I don't think I'm going to, because it'll only go 15 blocks. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over that way. So you only have let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if I don't have a repeater to extend it, this is where the power should stop over here from that switch. So we're going to have repeaters to extend the power. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And put a repeater there and a repeater there. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do here is run a redstone line down, basically on each side. So this is a little off. It's not perfectly straight, but it's not going to hurt anything. It should be fine now. I should have my 15 block distance in here. So now my first switch is going to start right up here on the front. It fills this entire area. So from this down, so this cobblestone here is going to be where my first block needs to be. Now what that means is that right here I'm going to have power coming up. Now because I have redstone there, if I put redstone here, all it's going to do is try to connect to that, like so. And you can't do it that way. It's not going to work. So what we're going to do is start with redstone repeaters. And this is why you need at least half of the number of pistons that you're going to use for redstone repeaters, because you have to separate the lines. And that basically acts like a separating block for redstone specifically. So as you can see, the redstone is going to curve around and come into the redstone block, or the repeater here, and this straightens out it keeps them separated. That's basically what the repeaters are good for. So their delay, each click is a 0.1 second delay. So that's 1, 2, 3, that's 0.03 seconds of, or 0.3 seconds of delay. It'll hold the charge in the block 0.3 seconds before it releases it. So you can use that mathematically to time all of your switches. And these are really important. Without these repeaters, you can't do a vast majority of things that you want to do with devices. You really need to have them. So understanding those basic concepts is important. You have to come in straight behind them, and that basically powers the stone. And they only go one direction. You can't pace them backwards because it directs the flow through. It acts like a block. So what we're going to do is use them to separate the wires out here. This is all they're going to serve a purpose for. Pretty simple. You're going to need those for each one of these. Now see, this is not going to need a separating line because there's already a repeater here. So we can alternate on this side. So this side we're going to need 4 repeaters. We're going to go one here, one here, one here, and one here. And as you can see, this one is directing the flow this way. These are directing the flow that way. Do not forget that. You cannot stand on the other side and put it, or you will reverse the flow and stop the power coming through. Okay, so now each one of these is going to have a block on it and power coming into it, just like on the other side. And you know, honestly, when you're really doing some of these big projects, you have to kind of stop and think a little bit because it can get complicated. There's so many different rules to how redstone devices work that you have to be a little careful when you're planning these, or you can mess it up pretty easy. And I've done this a lot of work on these projects, but you know, I'll be honest with you, it messes up a lot. I mess up all the time, and right here, like right now, I'm gonna be one short, so I'm gonna have to make a repeater. And this side I don't need one, but on this side I will, because I had to do the opposite on here, and I you know, I guess I didn't really have to, but I would end up having to use another extra repeater anyway, so I'm gonna have to make another one. I'm one short, so that's too bad on my part, but so I'll go ahead and I guess I'll go do that. So here's the problem is I can't get in there and face the repeater this way by digging that way. So I'm gonna have to come out over here, because if I do it this way, the repeater's gonna face the wrong direction. So it's making it kind of complicated. So what I can do is I can come this direction, and as long as I'm facing it somewhat close, see, it'll aim that way. As long as I'm close to that direction, it should aim it the right way. And I'll just come back in here and put redstone back in. There we go. So now we're done. All we have to do now is fill in the area. Okay, and we're gonna put blocks in front of all these, and it's gonna power directly into each block. And after it does so, what it's gonna do is, like I said, it's gonna update the power to the block above it. And there we go. So in this row, you're gonna have all of your pistons here. Okay, so we have our 20 pistons. So we're gonna go ahead and line those up here. Let me fill this in real quick. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and line those up here. And I guess I just want to fill this in just in case there's little accidents to protect the wiring. You never know what could happen. So, but we'll do 10 pistons facing upwards. You have to make, just like the redstone repeaters, you have to come from the direction that you want it to face. So I have to be above it to make them face upwards. You can make them face any direction you want, but for this application, they have to be facing up. Now on this layer, we do our dirt. Okay. Dirt, as I said, is going to be what is required for the growing surface, for the melons, for both pumpkin and for watermelon. So I don't think you're going to be looking at my project, buddy. I don't want them getting any smarter than they already are. So this melon, I can take him out. Pardon me. And unfortunately, that I'll have to fix that because now it's running water. But anyway, this surface here is now growable. Now melons will start to grow on top of this dirt. I mean, they could pop up as soon as right now. I mean, they grow at different rates, so you really never know. But the melons will grow on this, and when the melons are ready to harvest, all you have to do is basically hit this switch, and all of the dirt blocks that are down there will pop up, and it displaces the melon that's growing on top of them, and instantly harvests them for you so that it's a lot quicker. And there's a melon right there, so we can go ahead and pop it up, and I'll show you how it works, okay? So let's come over here so we can see what happens. Now hit the switch, and voila. Harvest your melon for you. So pretty simple. And then while all these fill in, you can just hit that switch and it harvests everything all at once. It's a pretty cool little device. I got inspiration for it, like I said, watching one of the Bentley's G2PO videos at McKee's place, and I have seen him before. It wasn't new to me, but I thought, that would be a good idea on a server like this because it saves time. So and there's pumpkin over there, and I think we can just go ahead and bang, just like that, and go harvest. So there you go. That's going to be harvesting simplified down here. And in here you can see I have my wheat field, and what I did was I put water along the sides here so that I can grow the, see, like that, so I can grow this sugar cane over here, save some space in here. Didn't want to grow just, no, come on, really. Didn't want to grow just, fail. Didn't want to grow just wheat in here. I wanted to grow some sugar cane down here too, but this will block water flow. And the reason why that's important is because this is an automated system down here too that I built. And I guess I can show you this too. It's already been built, but it is pretty. I'll just show you how it's built so you can see it. So basically, you just bring the redstone down. It comes in here, and as you can see, the repeaters separate each signal into a bunch of pistons. These just have to be regular pistons. You can hide it if you want, but I don't think there's a necessity for such a thing like this. It's not, nobody's gonna see it. So all you have to do is hit the switch, and water is going to come pouring down. And that sugar cane will block it if it's all the way up. It actually does block water when it's high. So I cut it down below that block. As long as it's not more than one block over the top, the water will come through. And this is going to harvest all the wheat down here. So hit the switch. Pistons open up. Water comes down. And auto harvest all this stuff for you. And you can basically just sit here and collect it. It does get stuck up there, so it's not perfect, doesn't do everything for you, but once you're done, close it back up, and water goes away, and it leaves everything ready for you to plant again. There you go, everybody. Thanks for watching. Next videos that's going to be out, it will be back on the tour, so it should make more interesting viewing than this. But thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I encourage you to go ahead and utilize some of this in your own homes on whatever servers you're playing on. So this is BrutalMorV, and take it easy, everybody.